Hello everyone. So I'll continue with the next topic in C++. Okay. So in the last video we discussed about how to defining a member function outside the class. So it's one of the application of your scope resolution operator. Okay. Yeah. So next application is creating a libraries using scope resolution operator. So how to create our own libraries using what scope resolution operator. So first you take one folder within what your system. Okay. So take one folder. Within that folder you create one file with name distance.h. You can give what any name .h. So files must have an extension .h. If you want to create what your own header files. Okay, so you can take any name .h. Okay, so here we have taken out on class with name distance. So there are two data numbers. One is I feet, another is f inches, and all the member functions are just declared. Okay, that is in a public section. So that's the end of our class. So write this particular code and save that one in a file and save that file with some name .h. Okay, so next thing is you just take out one more file with extension .cpp. Okay, and you include whatever the file you have created. So you have created a file with name distance.h. You just include that one with a double quote. Okay, yeah, next you just define what all the a functions. So we have set feet, get feet, set inches, as well as what get inches. You just define that one using a scope resolution operator. Wired get fit. So wired set fit. Okay, wired set fit, wired set fit. Okay, in between the wired and set fit, you just add a class name. What's the class name is what distance, and use what scope resolution operator. Okay, two colon. That one is called as what scope resolution. This one is what your scope resolution operator. So between return type and function name, just add class name and scope resolution operator, and you can write the definition. So first function is defined, second function is defined, and the remaining two are what defined. Then after defining, you just save and compile this one. Once you compile, so next you can use that in your program as a header file. See, you can go with hash include distance.h, and you can write what iostream.h, and you can write what your program. Since that's a class concept, you can directly you can create an object and you can call what all the four functions. This is how we can create what your own header files using what scope resolution operator. Take what on header file, take out on file with extension.h with any name. Okay, and write the class definition of a function without any definition. Next, in one more file .cpp, you write what all the definitions for the function using scope resolution operator, and you can save with extension.cpp and compile that one. After compiling, you can include that one in your program, and you can use that one. Okay, that's it. This is how you can create what your own header files. Okay, so next concept is what this pointer. Already we studied this pointer even in what your Java. So what's the use of this pointer? This pointer is a pointer which holds the address of the object and which always points to the calling object. Okay, you can write a same definition whatever is studied in your Java and with what simple example. See here there's a class with name of demo. Okay, and we have created object of a demo. So this object address will be there in on a default pointer, and that pointer is called as what this pointer. This object address. Okay, now I'm calling object dot set values. See, this function will be what called object dot set values. Now observe here, data member is also num and what ch. Local variable is also num and what ch. Just to avoid this name collision, we'll go with what this pointer. Okay, even if you don't specify, there will be what on pointer that is pointing to what data numbers. This pointer is what telling this num and what chr belongs to what this object, or this to our what data numbers, not local variable. Okay, you can write what any simple example for this pointer. So next one is what next concept is for data abstraction. What is the meaning of data abstraction? Suppose if you go to any bakery, like Mahalakshmi, there you'll get what Mysore Pak. So the Mysore Pak you can purchase and you can eat, but they're not going to tell how they have done that one Mysore Pak. That is called as what data abstraction, hiding the implementation from the outside world. That one is called as what data abstraction. Okay, hiding the implementation part from the outside world. That concept we'll call as what data abstraction. Okay, yeah. So we will take the same previous example. See, I just use what distance dot h and just created a object of type distance. Then I'm calling set feet, set inches, get feet, and get inches. Correct, right? Now I don't know what exactly they are written within the definition of this four functions. I'm just using that one. Means implementation part is what hidden. Means that is hidden within this header file. I'm just using that one. This concept is called as for data abstraction, hiding the implementation details from the outside world. That one is called as what data abstraction. See, we are just using this function, but we don't know what they are written within that function. That one is called as what data abstraction. Okay. And next concept is what arrow operator. When we have to use what arrow operator, directly I'll go with a program. See, there's a class with name of test. Okay. See, C++, you know how to create an object. Test was some name that will going to become an object. Now T1 is an object. Okay. Yeah. See, now again I'll create a pointer of type what test. So class name is what test. Object got created and again I created a pointer. Now within the pointer I'll store the object address of this T1. So now tpeter is having the address of what object. Whenever I'm using the address or a pointer concept which contains the address of the object, so you have to go with what arrow operator. If you are using what T1, then you go with what T1 dot. You have to call this function. What is a set AB, set AB. Okay, and show AB. See, if you are using the direct object T1 dot set AB as well as what show AB. If you are going with address of this object, use what arrow operator. See, this pointer we use what arrow. Why? Because this pointer holds the address of the object. Okay, that is the reason we use what arrow operator. If you are going with object, dot operator. If you're going with what uh, address, go with what arrow operator. So next one is overloaded member function. So you know what is the meaning of overloaded functions? Two or more functions with same name but different signature. So for that concept, we are adding for what member functions. That's it. So there's a class and within which there are three functions with the same name, show, but signature are what different. What's the signature here? That no, uh, no parameter. Here there is a single parameter or single argument. Here we have a two argument. So compiler going to differentiate. This is just a definition. We are written what outside the class. Say how to write between void and what should just add a class name. What's the class name A followed by scope resolution operator. See, this is how we can define outside the class. So this end of what class. Class A will going to end over here. So definition we have written what outside the class for all the three. Now how compiler going to differentiate? We have created an object of type what class. What's the name of the class A? So object is what A1. A1 dot show. If we call what show without any parameter, the first one will be executed. You'll get what allow one time. If you call what show by passing single parameter, the second one will be executed. Okay, the second one will go to execute. Okay, and if you call what show with two parameter, the last one will go to execute. See, this will go to execute and you'll get corresponding output. So depending on the parameter passing, it will go to differentiate. So just like if there are two students and if there are initials are different, if you call through their initial, so the corresponding person will be what responded. Okay, so the same way the here functions are also will going to respond depending on the parameter, even though all the three will going to have what same name. Okay, this concept is called as what member function overloading or overloaded member function. Even we can pass default values for member functions. I think you know default values you have to send from what right hand side. Say here we have one function with the show, so definition we are written what outside. Okay, and we are sending what default value what one. When default value will be what consider, So if you call what show and if you don't pass anything, at that time default value will be what considered. If you call what show and if you pass any value, so now it will going to take what 3, not default value. Since I am not passing anything here, it will take default value and the loop will going to run one time, so allow will be displayed what one time and cursor will come to what next line. And again we are calling what show, so here I'm passing what 3, so instead of default value it will take what 3 and loop will going to run what 3 times, so we'll get what allow what 3 more times, so totally 4 times I'll get what output. So this is with respect to what default value for member functions. Okay, so inline member functions, actually whatever we are defined within a class, all the member functions are by default are inline. If you want to use the keyword what inline, you just declare that one, and in the definition you write what inline. So what is the advantage if you, member functions are all by default are what inline? What is the advantage? Instead of going and coming back, so this line will be replaced with corresponding definition, and the speed of execution is what I. By default, all the member functions within a class are what inline. Okay. Yeah. Next one is what constant member function. So constant member function. Yeah, you can make a member function constant just by using a keyword constant afterward a small bracket. So there is a print AB. See, there's a class with name or test within which there are two data numbers AB. There is a set AB. We are just initializing the value for A and B, and there's a print AB. Okay, the print AB we made that one as a constant member function. Now within what is the property of constant member function is, if you try to change the value within the constant member function, it will going to throw what error. So this line will get what error. Why? Because you can only print the value of A. If you try to change the value of what A means, since it's a constant member function, if you try to change the value of any data member, either A or what B, it will going to throw what error. So it's a print here, there's a one more print B. So here also you will get what error. Why? Because we are trying to change the value of what B. It's not possible to change the value of what B. Why? Because it's a constant member function. Constant member function only we can print the value. We can't change. Okay. Yeah. So next one is what mutable data numbers. So what is the use of what mutable data numbers? If the constant member function, you can change the value only if the data number is what mutable. See, there's a there's a class with name what A, and there are two data numbers X as well as what Y. So now X is a ordinary data number, whereas Y is what mutable. Now this one is what constant member function. If you try to change the value of what X, it will going to throw error. Why? Because it's a constant member function. You can't change the value of any data number. But Y, if you change the value of what Y, it will not going to throw out any error. Why? Because so this is a mutable. Okay. Yeah. So this is an ordinary function. You can change both. Then it will not going to throw out any error. Okay. Yeah. That is with respect to mutable data numbers. Mutable data numbers can be modified. Mutable data numbers are the only data numbers which we can modify within a constant member function. Okay. Yeah. So next concept I'll going to explain in the next video. Thank you.